So you have to know something of that. Of course, if you're taking the lessons and learning the snare, drum, and the music, it'll help you. Okay, for the drum set, again, you want to sit on the seat and your feet form a tripod, and you should be evenly placed. And you should sit directly in front of your bass drum, not way over to one side or way over to the other side, or having your body all turned to one side only. So if you're turned to one side only all the time, how do you play over here? Get your hips and your shoulders straight with your drum set, and even if you're reading music, John Marrella, live, anyway, you just turn your head to the music, not your whole body, if you can. All right. Now, bass drum. Now, I'm sorry, this webcam is the best I can do. You have your bass drum down there. Okay. Now, you could play with heel down, which means your heel is on the heel plate, and you're using your ankle, which is what I tend to do. Okay, and still you want to use the snap, that whip. If you play what they call heel up, move your foot down the pedal board a little and use the ball of your foot. You can curl your toes up, you'll feel the ball of your foot, and your heel is off the heel plate up a little. And your leg will bounce a little, like that. Now, of course, if you have heel down, just moving your foot compared to heel up, with your leg moving, there's a lot more mass to move with your legs, so, you know. But both techniques are okay, and I tend to switch techniques sometimes too. But if you do heel up, don't be up on your toe, be on the ball of your foot, and don't have your ankle locked and frozen like a Frankenstein boot with your leg moving a lot. Let the ankle wiggle a little, you know, let the ankle wiggle a little. So you're still flicking your ankle a little bit even though your leg is bouncing a little, okay? I'm sorry I didn't have the camera over there, but anyway. Now, G, hi-hat with your foot. Oh my God, with your foot. Actually play it with your foot. What a concept. Okay, most players don't even do that. They just on the hi-hat, and that's all they do. They never learn to play it with their foot. And what that does, my instructor taught playing the hi-hat with the foot so you have your groove going all the time. And usually it's on the 2 and the 4. So there's your 2 and there's your 4. So you have that internal clock. There it keeps time, keeps you locked into your rhythm. Also, if you're playing some fill or something and the other musicians are like, well, wait a minute, when's he going to come out of it? You know, if they can't understand what you're doing, all they have to do is watch your foot. That 2 and that 4 is going. All right, so we're going to try the foot with the 2 and the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, bass drum. Numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi-hat 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Snare drum. Oh, and just because you play the snare with your nice V and your angle and your whip, don't lay your hand on your leg. Don't be all, you know, with your arm pushing down rim shots all the time. Get up, get your hand off your leg, keep the nice V, and play with a nice relaxed whip action and let that stick jump. Okay, your body will thank you. So you can start your feet, 1, 2, 3, 4, add the snare drum on the 2 and 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now, the 8th notes, the cymbal. You're going to play with the cymbal. And again, just because you took your hand off the snare drum, don't turn your hand upside down. Well, everybody, you know, I see people playing with it upside down. What are you going to do? Play on the underneath of the cymbal? Okay, and if your hand, or even if your hand is turned sideways, now your thumb is on the top. How is that stick going to jump up if your thumb is pushing down on it? It can't. How far can you bend your wrist this way compared to that way? Oh, okay? So keep your hand turned over so you could move. And again, let that whip action happen, let that pivot point happen, even with your cymbal. Now everybody kind of does that upside down or straight like this because they think their cymbal and themselves, the stick has to form a straight line between it. It does not. The stick can be sideways to the cymbal. Okay? It doesn't matter. See, look, here's the V, here's the angle. Just move it over there. My arm is down and relaxed, and I just play with that same action. Wax on, wax off, You don't want everything too high or everything too low or everything too angled. You know, don't. There's a lot here we could go into, but I'm going to try to keep it short, I hope. Anyway, you want things in reach. Okay, wax on, wax off. Keep your angles and everything even. Stay up above it. Let the sticks and the drums do the work. Okay, not all a bunch of arms and stuff. So back to the cymbal. We're going to do the eighth notes on the cymbal. That was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now you can try your hands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Good. You might have trouble with your bass drum and your cymbal because nobody wants to play all 4 on the bass. They do their beginning beats and they do bass drum, snare drum, bass drum, snare drum. Yeah, that sounds nice, but it's not true four-way independent coordination because it's not. Okay? And every beat you learn on your cymbal, of course, you can play on your hi-hat. There's nothing wrong with playing on the hi-hat. But learn it on your cymbal first so you get that groove factor of that 2 and 4 going on that hi-hat with that foot. So anyway, we're going to pump the 4 on the bass drum. So that's 2 cymbals for every bass drum. They're together on the numbers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so once you get your right side working, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can bring in the left side on the 2 and on the 4. Both snare and hi-hat. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Sit up, relax, don't play straight like that, don't play like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There you go. There's an 8th rock beat, and we're calling it 8th rock beat because we're playing 8th notes on the cymbal. Okay, now you can change it up, make some variations. Change the snare drum. Instead of just 2, go 2 and. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can try the hands. Now just because you're going 2 and here, don't go 2 and there, or don't go 2 and down there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You could do the basic beat for a measure, which is the 4, and then on the next measure around, come in with the 2 and the 2 and. Change it. 1 and 2 and 3 and here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Of course, it could be on the 4 and instead. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Now how about bass drum variations? Like I said, yes, 1 and 3 and are a variation. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. We will rock you. Of course, you have to learn your rudiments too. You know, roll, flat, right, radimacues, flams, flam accents, paradiddles. Anyway, there's a lot to go into, but we're just trying to beat. Okay, so yeah, we will rock you is a variation, but let's try to do it with the bass drum only on that and of that 4 with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Put a rest in there. Leave out the 4, but do the and. When it repeats, it'll go to the 1, so it'll be and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Okay? Try your feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Put the snare in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. If you have trouble on the 4 and 1, just do that. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4 and 1. Now, a lot of people have trouble with the cymbal and the bass drum like that because either they're going to leave go of the cymbal or they're going to do an extra bass drum. 4 and 1 or 4 and 1 and leave go of the cymbal. And don't leave go of the cymbal. Don't play like Charlie Watts. He leaves go of the hi-hat all the time, which there's not the 4-way independent coordination. You got to keep the cymbal going the whole way, even though the bass drum is changing. 1. Now, I'm going to focus more on what the bass drum is doing because that's the thing that's changing. So I'm going to have my mind focused on that by mostly only counting that. The cymbal is doing all those eighth notes, but that's static. That's the background. So tick, 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 tick. That's going anyway. So now just count what the bass drum is going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And if you leave go or add an extra bass, just focus on the 4 and 1. 4 and 1. Cymbal, both, both. Cymbal, both, both. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4 and 1. Okay? Now, in fact, up until 3, that's like your regular beat, and then there's a switch at the 4 and 1. So in reality, that 4 and 1 could be a little sub-program in your mind. You might want to do everything, so it's those three, cymbal, snare, and hi-hat. Those 3 and 2 right sides. Those 3 and 2 right sides. Those 3 and 2 right sides. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4 and 1. So in your mind, you may not know it linear. Okay? Put the one program up to 3 like your basic beat, and then at 4, oh yeah, that little sub-program. Paste it, splice it in. 1, 2, 3, here it comes. 4 and 1. 2, 3. Oh yeah, that 4 and 1 thing. 2, 3, 4 and 1. See? Now you could switch it. Put it on the 2 and. 1, 2, and 3. 4, 1, 2, and 3. 4. Don't forget the 4. See, it's harder. I mean, let's try it. Okay, you could put those two together, the and of 2 and the and of 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. It actually gets easier compared to doing it the very first one. And then you could add a 3 and, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. And then finally the 1 and, 1 and 2, and 3, and 4. That's actually the easiest in reality, because now the bass drum's almost doing just what the cymbal is doing. So they're more the same than the first with just the 4 and. See? Or you could do the Ringo's loud effect, which was all the eighths, the 2 and the 4 in there also.